Donald Trump is finna call the survivors straight fucking liars. He finna say this whole thing is a hoax. So he's saying they lying. Check this shit out.
Will American soldiers remain in Poland?
Okay.
Will American soldiers remain in Poland?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, do you know something I don't? I don't know. Yeah, we're very happy. If anything, we'll put more there if they want. But they've long wanted to have a larger presence. We have some countries that have more, not too many, but no, they'll be staying in Poland. We're very much aligned with Poland.
Sir, on Russia and China, you, sir, can we ask about, we saw a dramatic picture where we saw the leaders of Russia and North Korea and China together, the first time the leaders of those three countries have been together in this sort of show of solidarity. You said that they're conspiring against the United States. What do you think they're conspiring to do? And given this, is it reason why you should slap or would consider slapping secondary sanctions on Russia if they're conspiring against the U.S. now?
Well, I've already done that with regard to India, and we're doing it with regard to other things. And I put out a truth last night. You saw that, and I was the one that brought it up. I said they're only doing this. They're looking to when they did what they did. I thought it was a beautiful ceremony. I thought it was very, very impressive. But I understood the reason they were doing it, and they were hoping I was watching, and I was watching.
See, here you go. This sick man ass motherfucker think everything is about him. You know what I'm saying? He think that they just did this shit just so he can, you know what I'm saying, pay attention to it and all that shit. Now the motherfucker like, fuck you, dude. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna put tariffs on us, we gonna go make our own deals. You know what I'm saying? And you still here thinking, well, they just did this shit just, you know what I'm saying, to make me feel, you know what I'm saying, try to make me feel bad or whatever because I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? But I'll be there next time. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. This dude here, man.
My relationship with all of them is very good. We're going to find out how good it is over the next week or two. I think that we helped China very much, as you know, when they talk about freedom. And I don't believe that, and maybe I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't believe that America, that the United States was acknowledged for helping China to gain its freedom. But perhaps that was just that was a sleight of hand. I mean, I was very surprised. I watched the speech.
He said he helped China gain their freedom. China been the same way for I don't know how many motherfucking goddamn years. They still the same ass goddamn way with one motherfucking leader and everybody got worship that one ass leader like you want to be. So what the fuck is you talking about, dude?
Last night, President Xi's a friend of mine, but I thought that the United States should have been mentioned last night during that speech because we helped China very, very much.
What was the reason?
They should have been invited, Mr. President.
What was the reason?
Mr. President, do you think they should have been invited?
Yes, go ahead.
You've expressed many times your frustration and disappointment with Putin, but there's no action since you took your office.
How do you know there's no? How do you know there's no action?
Goddamn
Really?
no action.
Wait. Who
There
are
has been
you
no
with?
action.
I'm with Polish media.
Okay. How do you know there's no action? Would you say that putting secondary sanctions on India, the largest purchaser outside of China, they're almost equal? Would you say there was no action? That cost hundreds of billions of dollars to Russia. You call that no action? And I haven't done phase 2 yet or phase 3. But when you say there's no action, I think you ought to get yourself a new job. Because if you remember, 2 weeks ago, I did.
Now you want to get on a report and tell him get a new job. You have not done any fucking action. You know, said 2 weeks ago, like you finna say, you said you was gonna do some sanctions on Russia, woo, but you ain't did a goddamn thing on Russia yet. You put it on fucking India. What the fuck is going on with Russia? Y'all butt buddies or something? The fuck?
I said, if India buys, India's got big problems, and that's what happened. So don't tell me about that. Go ahead.
Mr. President,
Right now, there have been survivors of Jeffrey Epstein speaking at a press conference on Capitol Hill. They're calling for these case files, these documents to be released. And Thomas Massey, who was sponsoring a discharge petition to get the House to vote on releasing those documents, says he doesn't believe you're implicated in these files, but many of your friends and donors may be, and he says that's why the Justice Department is redacting them and slow walking the release. Is the Justice Department protecting any friends or donors, sir?
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends. You know, it reminds me a little of the Kennedy situation. We gave him everything over and over again, more and more and more, and nobody's ever satisfied. From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, thousands of pages of documents have been given. But it's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get.
Okay, he constantly saying it's a Democratic hoax. But we got these survivors up here right now, ready to speak and tell you what the fuck happened to them. And you I don't know if you know what's going on or not. But you know it's not no motherfucking hoax. You know that. So why you keep on saying it's a Democratic hoax? So you trying to say that these survivors are up here finna go in front of Congress or whatever and they finna just sit here and lie? That's what they finna do? Oh, you know what I'm saying? And whatever you say goes. You wasn't in their fucking shoes. You don't know what the fuck was going on. If you say you ain't know what the fuck was going on, how the hell you gonna know what the fuck was going on and you gonna call it a hoax? You gonna call these people liars. You the liar.
People to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president. Even if you look at DC right now, DC, it's a totally safe zone. It's called a safe zone. That's a term. It's a term of art. It's a safe zone because it's very safe. You can walk down the street now and nothing's going to happen. No crime, no murders, no nothing. Because we had a lot of problems with certain places, and we still do. All run by Democrats, or for the most part, run by Democrats. So what they're trying to do with the Epstein hoax is get people to talk about that instead of speaking about the tremendous success, like ending 7 wars. I ended 7 wars. Nobody's going to talk about because they're going to talk about the Epstein, whatever. I understand that we were subpoenaed to give files, and I understand we've given thousands of pages of files. And I know that no matter what you do, it's going to keep going. And I think it's enough because I think we should talk about the greatness of our country and the success that we're having. I think we're probably having, according to what I read, even from 2 people in this room.
No, we're gonna constantly talk about them Epstein file because you acting real nervous right now about releasing them Johns. We need to talk about everything else that's going on. Ain't nothing good going on. You want to talk all about that bad shit? We can do that shit. But all you gonna do is lie about it. You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck we gonna talk about this shit? Let's talk about some real ass shit. Let's talk about these Epstein files, dog.
We're having the most successful 8 months of any president ever. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what we should be talking about, not the Epstein hoax.
When are you going to make a decision on Ukraine, Mr. President?
I have no message to President Putin. He knows where I stand, and he'll make a decision one way or the other. Whatever his decision is, we'll either be happy about it or unhappy. And if we're unhappy about it, you'll see things happen.
Sir, Venezuela, can you give us a sense of what the U.S. policy or what you're trying to achieve with the aircraft carriers or the boats, I should say, in near Venezuela, and also the boat that you mentioned yesterday where 11 people were killed? What was found on that boat, and why were the men killed instead of taken into
On the boat, you had massive amounts of drugs. We have tapes of them speaking. It was massive amounts of drugs coming into our country to kill a lot of people. And everybody fully understands that. In fact, you see it. You see the bags of drugs all over the boat. And they were hit. Obviously, they won't be doing it again. And I think a lot of other people won't be doing it again when they watch that tape. They're going to say, let's not do this. We have to protect our country, and we're going to. Venezuela's been a very bad actor. They've been, as you know, they've been sending millions of people into our country, many of them Tren de Aragua, some of the worst gangs, some of the worst people anywhere in the world in terms of gangs. And we had some in Washington, D.C. We took care of them very quickly, but they're out of here. They've gone. But Venezuela's been very bad, both in terms of drugs and sending some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world into our country. They emptied out, you don't know this, but they emptied out their prisons in Venezuela, and they emptied them out into the United States of America. And that's part of the problem we have. We're getting them out. We're getting them out rapidly, but it's caused a tremendous problem. And Pete and all of the people that are working very hard to rectify the stupidity of the Biden administration, allowing these people to pour into our country with open borders. We are paying a big price as a country for the incompetence of the Biden administration.
All right, we're going to leave them lies right there, y'all. Straight lies. You know what I'm saying? Venezuela is not entering their damn prisons and to send them over here. Matter of fact, y'all motherfuckers talking so you can sending up these detainees over there and everything. So you trying to act like we're some kind of war. Then as far as bombing that goddamn boat, I think that was just bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's a real drug boat or not, but I think that was just bullshit. And then you just go on and you want to go and still blame Biden for the shit that's happened to you. It's almost been a fucking year, dude. A fucking year. And you still want to blame Biden. All right. I'm going to leave it right there, y'all. Please, man, hit that like, subscribe button. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.